That's the kind of folks we are. We're powerful people, we're passionate people, and we're going to win in November. So you didn't come here to hear from me. I have just a very brief thing to say. If you have not turned in your cards yet with questions, there are people circulating. Raise your hands if you have cards to give to people. And there are two boys in the corner over there. They can collect your cards if you want and bring them up to me. And I've been corrected. I've been told they're young men. They're my sons, so I guess. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that you do have ballots. You need to get those turned in. They will be those two guys in the corner will be standing at the exits with ballot boxes. If you don't turn in your ballot, you will not have that ballot counted. So that's all I have to say, except to introduce you to an extraordinary woman who's going to be our moderator tonight. I have some sad news, and I'm not going to dwell on this because she asked me not to, but this is the next to last day that she will be serving as the chair of the board of directors of Keystone Progress. Eileen Connolly has been our one and only board chair for 5 years, and she told us a couple of months ago that she was going to be leaving. We're really sad about that, even though we have incredible leadership to not fill her shoes, but to continue on with the organization. But I'm really sad personally that this is going to be Eileen's last debate, but I'm really excited that she is going to be doing this tonight. She's an incredible woman, a passionate progressive, one of the strongest, most dynamic organizers I know, Eileen Connolly.
Hi. Just so everybody knows, I moved to New Jersey to take care of my mother. So that's my life right now, which matters a great deal. That's where I was born and raised, so it's sort of going home to me. Yeah, he's a real a-hole, so let's not go there. But anyway, let's move on with the debate, because we are on live on PCN, and I want to make sure that we give credit to the folks that are here. So, I am the moderator, but in some ways I'm also the controller of candidates. So if you get out of line, it is me that will put us back in line. And let me just read for you some of the rules that we set up. But first, let me share with you a note about our sponsors. This is our 5th summit, as Mike just mentioned, and the sponsors that we have for the summit, we're very, very appreciative of them. Their support has really made it possible to do this year after year and have this incredibly successful weekend that we're going. Sponsorship was open to all candidates, regardless of political party or ideology. The tables and ads out front that you see were paid for by the candidates who chose to participate. Their sponsorship is not an endorsement by Keystone Progress or any other affiliated organization. So now to the format for the debate. Each candidate seated up here will be given a 2-minute opening and a 2-minute closing statement. Order will be alphabetical by last name for the opening statement, and reverse alphabetical order for the closing statement. The candidates are all aware of these rules prior to tonight. Questions. The initial questions will come from representatives of organizations that are part of the summit organizing team. Those are already prepared. If there's time, remaining questions will come from the floor, which I know some of you are now sending in. Answers will be limited to 1 minute and 30 seconds. Candidates in front of you, we have a timekeeper, and I will cut it off when the time is done. And rebuttals, everybody will have a chance to rebut, and your rebuttals will be 30 seconds. I am the moderator. The order of speakers will be sort of a rotating alpha order. So we start with the opening statement with, to my left, John Hanger, down to Tom Wolf, alphabetical last name. Then the first question will go to the next person, down, then John Hanger finishes, so it's that rotating order which I will be controlling, and I have a list, hopefully I won't mess it up. There's also a straw poll that we're doing tonight, the results of which will be announced tomorrow. The ballots are already on the table for that, Mike? Okay, so the straw ballot papers were at the registration desk. If you didn't get one, you can go out and get one. And it's too late, Mike just told me, apologize. And as he said, his young men's sons will be collecting those straw ballot papers on your way out. To the candidates, this is for you. Please answer the questions that we ask, not the ones you want to answer. I will try to control that, but you have 1 minute and 30 seconds. And let me just share that, you know, some of the questions that we've come up with are not sort of the standard easy answers, right? We're a progressive organization. We want to challenge you to some thinking in terms of what we believe in and what we stand for. We prepare questions that our members want to hear answers to. To the audience, I'm asking you to be respectful of the candidates. We are here to listen, to learn, and to make decisions. Every time you clap or make noise, that cuts into a candidate's time. There is not a card here for the timing, pause for clapping. So I just want you to recognize that in terms of how you influence the candidate's time and their ability to make to give an answer. We will have plenty of time at the end to congratulate all of them. I just want to say, before we move to opening statements, which we're going to next, John will be first. And let me just ask all of you, do you mind if I call you by your first name? I know all these folks pretty well, other than Joellen. I really don't know Joellen, but everybody else I've known for too many years. So do I have to call you Mr. Wolf? Dr. Wolf. Don't even go there, Tom. I'm not doing it. All right, I'm making a unilateral decision, which is my nature. I'm calling you all by your first name because then it's fair. And I also just want to say that it's time to have a Democrat for governor again in the state. So one of these people must be the next governor of the state of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So with that, let me turn it over to an opening statement. We have our timekeeper, John Hanger. Opening statement, please, 2 minutes.
We absolutely do need a Democrat as governor, but we also need bold progressive change. So it does matter which Democrat you pick for governor. I'm campaigning on a platform of bold progressive change. It can be summed up in one sentence: schools, not jails; jobs, not jails; legalize and tax marijuana right now. I have offered proposals that would actually implement that sentence. So I have a college affordability plan that would allow all Pennsylvanians to go to 2 years of community college and 1 year of state university without incurring upfront debt. And it's at hangerforgovernor.com. We also need to have a bold progressive change because income inequality is destroying individuals and families and hurting our economy. And in order to address income inequality powerfully and progressively, we need to raise the minimum wage, but do much more than that. We actually have to rebuild unions, and it's time for the Democratic Party to do more than cash checks from unions, but to actually stand with unions in organizing drives. And it's time for a Democratic governor to say, join a union, and to say that to the Chamber of Commerce. Last but not least, we have to actually seize our energy opportunities and meet our energy challenges. I have unique energy experience. I don't pander to people about our energy situation. I'm very proud of the fact that I've been endorsed by the Dimmock, Pennsylvania families who know that I stand with them against Cabot Oil and Gas when their water was polluted in 2010 by methane. I have proposed an independent drilling office to receive citizen complaints and fully professionally investigate them. I have the toughest set of regulatory proposals of any of these candidates, and I wrote the moratorium on state forest drilling. That now Governor Corbett is in fact trying to rip up. Last but not least, I will increase solar by 10 times, wind by 4 times. I'll implement the climate action plan that I wrote in 2009, and yes, I'm for single-payer health care.
Thank you, John. Joellen Litz.
Thank you. I'm a 4-term county commissioner serving my 15th year in Lebanon County, Pennsylvania. In 2012, I was elected statewide by my colleagues in order to be their president, and in 2013 served as the board chair. also owned and operated an auto body shop for like 20 years and simultaneously did some commercial rentals. Finally, for the last 2.5 decades, I've been the president of the Swatara Watershed Association. Clean water is my passion. I say all of that as the premise to tell you that in my capacity as a commissioner, I've served in a lot of roles. The head of the MPO, the head of the election board, and I was the liaison to the Emergency Management Agency. I'm on the prison board, the board of Cedar Haven, the county home. The list goes on, all transferable skills to be governor. My campaign is about roads and bridges, water and sewers, schools and energy, all economy boosting jobs that will support families and allow them to buy cars and homes and goods. These are the things that I think our workers want. It's about jobs. These are jobs that we will have, that are solid, that will be around for a long time. They're not jobs that are going to go away. I thank you, and I look forward to your debate tonight.
Thank you, Joelle. Rob McCord.
I want to start by thanking our wonderful Eileen, and I want to note I have a lot of friends up on the dais, real friends, and I also have a lot of friends in the audience. I want to thank you for carving out your time. Sort of knowing that so many of you are thought leaders who will do tons of research on our substantive positions and recognize that there's a lot of overlap in those positions, I thought I would talk about what motivates me. And the primary thing that motivates me, the starter engine for me, is what happened to my mom, my brother, and me when I was a little boy. My mom went through a tough divorce when I was 4, and she almost got evicted, was rescued by a union, was almost going to return to her home of New York, but she decided to move to Pennsylvania because of the public education system in Lower Merion, where, among others, Steve McCarter got to teach me. And I was literally rescued by Pennsylvania public education. I watched a hardworking woman who had played by the rules get dropped from the middle class and start to recover by moving to Pennsylvania. Then I came here, and Pennsylvania public education rescued me, took me from undiagnosed dyslexia in the slow reading group in California. I remember in 2nd grade thinking, I can't be as dumb as they think I am. And eventually, Pennsylvania public education helped get me into Harvard, get me a lot of financial aid, live the American dream, not just make plenty of money after going to the Wharton School at Penn, but helped to generate thousands of jobs in the private sector. Then you helped give me the high privilege of serving as a statewide elected CEO who not only defended seniors and defended students and was a fiscal watchdog. I got to see Tom Corbett in action. And I've realized that there are a lot of kids out there who will not get to see their dreams come true if we leave this bad governor in office. We've got to remember there are plenty of poor kids out there who maybe are living with a single mom who have dreams just as big as the ones I had. We need to defeat and evict Tom Corbett so that they can make those dreams come true. Thank you.
Thank you,
Well, good evening, and thanks so much for having me here, and thank you for everything you do every day, fighting for those values that are most important and most enduring. It really is an honor for me to be able to join you tonight. And I come to you tonight driven by that shared sense of meaning and values that we have and hold dear. I'm lucky to be here tonight. You know, I'm 9th of 10 kids, and I saw my dad every day go out our door, 35 years walking the beat as a police officer, 35 years putting his life on the line. A union looked out for him, a union fought hard for him, and enabled all of us, then 10 kids, to have a shot at that dream that Rob was talking about. I saw my mom every day after she'd scrubbed that house top to bottom, you know that, ladies, 2nd shift, then go off to an evening job as a hostess in a restaurant. And I know that when she missed Thanksgiving and when she missed Christmas dinners, she was working hard with dignity for her children and for her community to build a better family and a better future in our state. She was giving everything that she had to give. So when we talk about the issues that we're all concerned about, I'll tell you, am I going to fight for a pension, for retirement security for hardworking people? You bet, because that was dignity for my dad in his last year's. Am I going to fight for minimum wage, including for restaurant workers, full minimum wage, not half a loaf? You bet, because that's what my mom was about, working hard every day. And education, yeah, that was my ticket, first in my family to go to 4-year college from high school, and at 29, a senior advisor to the President of the United States. Those are the things that you fight for, and I am privileged to be with you tonight in solidarity for those values and principles.
Thank you,
very much.
Katie. Allison Schwartz.
Well, I'm running for governor because we cannot afford 4 more years of Tom Corbett. You know that his failed leadership is failing Pennsylvania's families and Pennsylvania's future. We need a governor who is going to take on the stale politics here in Harrisburg and is going to end the culture of inaction and the willingness to do nothing and not take responsibility to meet the challenges before us. We need a governor who has a record of accomplishment, who has the experience, and is willing to get things done and knows how to push to make that happen. And I'm running for governor because we need a woman, because a woman governor is going to come to Harrisburg and it is going to change politics here in Harrisburg forever. And you know that, and I do. And it is time for us to defy the expectations and to do this together. I have a progressive agenda for Pennsylvania. We can make sure that every child has quality education. We should make sure that every Pennsylvanian has access to quality health care, that we should grow this economy, and that we should make sure that there are opportunities for everyone to move into the middle class and beyond. And that's why I'm running. I'm going to defy expectations, as I always have. I'm the only woman in the Pennsylvania delegation out of 18 members of Congress and 2 senators. I can be tough. I wouldn't be where I am if I didn't know how to take on big challenges and get things done. Many of you know me for something I'm enormously proud of, and that is helping to get the CHIP program done here in Pennsylvania. Signed by Governor Casey, it would never have gotten done without my work in the state Senate. And it has helped hundreds of thousands of children here in Pennsylvania. And maybe even more importantly, it became the model for President Clinton to form the CHIP program in every state in this nation. And now 11 million children in this country have health insurance. And we started it right here in Pennsylvania because we took on a challenge, we were smart about the solution, and we got it done. And that's what I'm going to do as your governor. I'm going to get things done. I'm going to move the state forward, and it's going to be changed for the better forever.
Thank you, Allison. And Tom Wolf.
First of all, thank you, all of you, for coming out tonight to listen to all of us. This is great of you to be here, and thank you for hosting this, Eileen. I am running for governor because I think we need to move in a different direction. And I think to move in that different direction, we are going to need a different kind of governor with a different kind of a background. And I certainly qualify for that. I grew up in a small town south of here in York County, went off to see the world, joined the Peace Corps, earned my PhD, thank you very much, Eileen, from MIT. Came back, and what did I do with that PhD? I actually started driving a forklift to learn the family business. And I came back to Pennsylvania because I wanted to get involved not just in the business, but also in my community. And I worked my way up to sales clerk. I was a truck driver. And if I win this election, I will be the first governor in the history of Pennsylvania ever to have managed a True Value hardware store. So I just want to be and then I bought the business with 2 cousins in 1986, built it into one of the largest building supply houses in the United States, and was proud of the way I did that, sharing 20 to 30% of my net profit with my employees, paying really great base compensation, offering outstanding benefits in health and retirement. And then in 2006, sold the business and was retired. At that point, Ed Rendell asked me to be Secretary of Revenue. I came to Harrisburg to serve in his cabinet. And then in 2009, went back to the business, which was tanking. The bank was about to pull the plug on it, and got re-engaged in the business, bought it back, and turned it around so that I can now run for governor, and I have the wherewithal to do the extraordinary things I've done to support my own candidate. So that's why I'm running. I think we need to move in a new direction. This is a different time, and I'm the different kind of person, the different kind of background to actually turn the state around and move it in a new direction. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. All right, the first question, and again, we have a minute 30 seconds to answer questions. There will be 30-second time for rebuttal. We start with Joe Ellen, go down the line, and end with John. So, first question. Same question for everybody. The Affordable Care Act allows for states to implement their own methods of healthcare delivery, including single payer. Do you support Pennsylvania moving toward a single payer system? 1.5 minutes, starting with Joe Ellen.
It's very interesting, that question. I was running for governor, and truthfully, I didn't think that that would be an issue because we have a system in place and it's the law. But then I was at a couple of forums and I was listening to a lot of people and their opinions, and I sat down with a gentleman in my community who I consider somewhat of an expert on the subject. And he was able to tell me about some things that aren't right, about not bidding out for pharmacy goods, things like that, and getting the best price, and that sometimes the prices are just a little too high. So I think that there's room for improvement in what we have now, and if that means moving towards a single payer, I don't have a problem with that. I think that it's important that people have medical coverage. In Lebanon County, what I did notice was that our Good Samaritan Hospital, all of these years, has been a community hospital, a nonprofit, and when someone needed care, they'd walk in that door and they would get care. And the rest of us picked up the tab. Maybe we didn't know it, but it was figured into the cost of our health insurance. And so the people were taken care of. We have 2 different clinics in our community, one for the working poor, and I know that's not a proper terminology, and one for the unemployed. I could go on, but I'll stop. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Rob?
First and foremost, I think a sign that Governor Corbett has failed to accept the expansion of Medicaid when it's 100% reimbursed is almost criminally negligent. Unfortunately, when rich people do things that are wrong, they're never criminal, or they seldom are. We're not just talking about covering hundreds of thousands of people, we're talking about more than 40,000 jobs, and we're also talking about the opportunity to customize and continuously innovate. One of the things I would love to do is work with great leaders, including SEIU, in providing an opportunity for seniors who want to live much, much longer in their homes with the expansion of Medicaid, with unionized workers, with new technologies and innovation, cutting the cost per year of senior care in many of these cases by up to 60% a year. This kind of continuous improvement is what pragmatic governing is like. I understand that the words single payer can be like catnip in a progressive room. I'm not necessarily looking to win a straw poll or whatever. I'm looking to win on May 20th. And what I want are the hearts and minds of people who think of themselves not just as progressives, but as pragmatists. I do wish we had a public option. I wish we had started the debate as expanding, mending, and protecting Medicare. I think that would have been a better conversation at the federal level. But I certainly will live with the laws that exist. I will defend and protect those who are unprotected when it comes to health care coverage, and I will innovate continuously in a way that will help the Pennsylvania
Thank you,
economy.
Rob.
Thanks.
Katie McGinty?
Thanks, Eileen.
Katie. I'm only using first names.
Okay, that didn't count against me now, did it? That's all right?
No.
Oh, thank you, Eileen. First and foremost, listen, there are many, many issues and questions that a governor would face that are genuinely very hard. With respect to health care and expansion of Medicaid in particular, it's not hard. This is one of these things you step up, you say yes right away. When you have an opportunity to provide health care to 600,000 of your constituents that they have already paid for in their tax dollars, and if you do not provide it, their tax dollars will go to the comfort of folks in other states in this country. You say yes, to say nothing of the jobs that would be created there. We need to go further. I think we have a whole series of issues right now where consumer beware, and it is imperative for a governor to step up and take on the issues that are crippling consumers in Pennsylvania in the pocketbook. We saw an example of it just today with the governor blaming electricity consumers for the fact that their rates have now gone through the roof. I guess they didn't read the 100-page contract. On health care, we also need full disclosure of costs. I would also step up immediately and start our own exchange. Listen, in terms of single payer, I think we know that the way to drive down costs is that you increase the pool of people who are being served and you take down the inefficiency that we have seen in trying to make the federal exchange
Thank you,
work.
Katie. Allison?
You know, I'm the only one on the stage that actually spent many hours making sure that we passed the Affordable Care Act. It's a proud accomplishment. We should all, as Pennsylvanians, as Americans, be proud of the fact that we finally, in this country, found a way to get health coverage and health care to every American. It's an enormous accomplishment of President Obama's and of the Democratic Congress. And I was proud to be very much a part of that. I worked hard to make sure that pre-existing conditions for children would never stop them from getting insurance, that there would be continuous ongoing insurance, that there would be hard regulations on the insurance industry in this country, and that we would protect Medicare and Medicaid and expand opportunities for primary care and delivery system reform and things that we need to get done. It's an extraordinary accomplishment, and one, again, I hope you're proud of the fact that we played a role in, and I certainly did. As Pennsylvania's governor, I would absolutely take the Medicaid expansion. It is economically unwise and it is morally unconscionable to leave 500,000 Pennsylvanians without health coverage just simply because the governor has an ideological bent on doing it. And I will change that on day one. And we will get health care to all Pennsylvanians. We will do it right. And we will be leaders in the nation for how we do this. We have great health care institutions. We can do this. And we should. It will be one way that Pennsylvania will actually lead the way.
Thank you, Allison.
Thank you.
Tom?
Thank you. The question is about single payer, but we need to start by expanding Medicaid. As Allison pointed out, and others have, 500,000 people will be covered if we expand Medicaid immediately. And we should set up state exchanges. We should do everything in our power to make the ACA work. And then we should start figuring out how we extend affordable health care to all Pennsylvanians. Go beyond even what the ACA is doing. The ACA is obviously a great step in that direction, but we need to do more, and single payer is something we ought to consider in order to get from where we are, where ACA is going to take us, to where we all want to be, and that is, like every other developed nation in the world, we offer affordable, good health care to every citizen in Pennsylvania.
Thank you, Tom. John?
Well, I want to start by complimenting Congresswoman Schwartz for her long work on health care. I think it's been noble. I think it's been made a huge difference in the lives of Pennsylvanians. And by the way, I wouldn't have served on the Public Utility Commission without her strong support long ago. So thank you from both ends. To the question of single payer, which I know that some of our colleagues here don't really want to get too close to. The answer is absolutely. I support single payer, and I'll explain why. Health care is a human right, and Medicaid expansion is a partial answer. It would in fact ensure half of those who are being denied that human right today. I believe in what is said in the book of Matthew, and it says, what you did to the least of these, you did to me. And I think that is absolutely implicated in this question. So for moral reasons, I support the single payer. My wife is a physician, and for reasons of practice, I support